Hello, how's everybody doing? I'm sorry, but I have to wear my glasses because I don't like to do a YouTube without seeing something. I don't know, it just makes me um, uncomfortable. So I have to wear my glasses, and I know they're very thick, but they've always been like this. I couldn't wear. I got monthly contacts, and they didn't come yet, and I couldn't wear the other contacts because they dry your eyes out. So I'm waiting for my other contacts. So I've been using these glasses, but I had to go to my optometrist today, and they gave me some spare. They gave me some trial lenses, not my prescription, and so at work I don't have to wear glasses, but now I just have to do this. So this is an update on. I guess I was gonna make this on the guitar, but I'm gonna make this on the singing. Okay. Um, this I'm doing a lot of songs. I have like 10 to 12 songs already done, and that's I'm working on. But now I'm at a point to where um, I'm at a point to where, which is very important. There's nothing I want to say. I'm jumping around, but I do want to say this about the music, about the singing and vocals. Okay, this whole concept of my channel is to show you how everything progresses in time. Okay, so if you go all the way to to the front and you see my videos from singing, you will see the progress up until now. There are people who know the voice so well they don't have to sing, but their talent is they know what's happening while the person is singing. They just know that. Okay, so these people, like when I say I only sing, and it's the honest truth. If I made some progress, and sometimes the progress is so minute, okay, and then I sing, you know what I mean? So I've always done that, but again, even with the vocals, everything is done in progress, and you can see the progress. So maybe I've learned something, and I sing it. And for those of you who follow my videos, they can tell. I don't want this to go on too long. They can tell that it's a progress. And now I'm at a point. Another point I want to make. Okay, now it's over 3 minutes. I wanted just to make. I have to make a short, and then I have to make. And I now it's going to be a video also. Okay. Another important part, because I haven't did an update on these things lately. And another important part is what's the other important? Oh, which aids in my progress also. And I knew it, but now I have to follow it even more, because as you do better, you have to follow it more. Is certain times, first of all, you have to find where you're progressing, okay? When you have a technique, you have to find where that technique is, because it's going to change if you're progressing, okay? So once if you progress and you have to take breaks, you have to after a while you know when to take a break. And just say if I'm working, and then I sing like the last time. Okay, the last time, this is my this is my next backing for my next song. And I was going through a lot of progress, and I was going through like a transition. It's called a transition. When, like I said, you sing, and you have a technique, but then your technique changes. As you progress, your technique is going to change. Well, I noticed that usually you could tell because you can't sing. When I say you can't sing, I mean you can't form a song from beginning to end like you have been doing because something's in the way. A lot of people think it's a block or something's wrong, but it's not that. It means that your technique is changing. So I just came to a point where it was changing a lot. So I had to, what I did was started, mastering more songs. So now I got like 12 songs. And I have I, you learn music, you learn the singing from everywhere, okay? And I have this app which I recently put, maybe I'll put it up. I don't know if you'd be interested in it, but there's apps out there. And but I would not use an app for singing unless you have worked with your voice a long time, okay? I mean, if you work with your voice long enough to know how to, like, this is good, that is good, this is good, that is good, okay? So that's why I'm able to use the app, because I know my voice and I know how my techniques are. So I'm not going to do anything that's going to harm my development. So that's why I would say be careful with the apps. But I have this app. And another thing I like about the app is that it doesn't do anything that I am familiar with, because it helps me to find something else. So I was working with this app, and I do it every day, maybe like 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, okay, each time. So I was going along with it. You can't take it too serious. I mean, you have to just, if you can't do it, just go ahead and try your best, but don't try to where you're hurting yourself. Just, like maybe, let's say if they're singing loud, if they're singing something that you can't sing, try and sing, just make fun with it and then do it. So I was doing that. But like I said, because I work with my voice so much, I knew what I was doing. So like I was telling you, now I'm in a transition, and I was still working on the app. So I had this app, and they did a very difficult thing, and I was doing it because with my progress that I was doing, my progress that I was finding, like recently, and it was developing, and I was able to do this without any problem. It was sounding very good. And I mean, when I'm saying it sounded very good, it was showing me that I'm going to another level of progress, okay? So, and then after they did that, they go, that was very difficult, and it was difficult, but I was able to do it. And it showed me that, yes, I am in the right place to where I have to continually find what's the transition is. So like when you're transitioning, you have to find what your transition is, what's happening, okay? How are you doing things? Because your technique is going to change, okay? Like you can have a technique. Don't stick so much on your technique, because you have a technique and then all of a sudden this whole technique changes. You got to be able to drop everything and say, what's my technique now, okay? So that's one major thing when you're singing. But I'm telling you, there's people who know. Like I said, I progress maybe just minutely and I sing. They can tell the difference. Those are people. Most likely they're in the industry and they work with a lot of people, and they work with a lot of, when I say a lot of money, is the fact that that's professional. It doesn't have anything to do with money. What I mean is that it's serious. When I say money, is that they have to know, because they're not gonna be able to do anything. But they have to do anything, and they have to know. So that's when I say they work with money. So they have to know these voices. They have to know what the person can do. Okay. Another thing I found, I love classical music, but a lot of pop music and rock and roll and all this other stuff. You can say all the germs that is it, can I say germs? How's that? Well, any type of music, okay, but but a song can be more complicated than a lot of classical music, okay? Because the classical music, you do a lot of technique and you have to do certain things. But it's funny because in all the other genres, in all other genres of music, they don't know about what's difficult or not. They want to express this thing. So sometimes it's so difficult. So the reason why I'm saying that is because it's challenging to work with different songs, and that's very important too. Older music is better because it's not, you can learn from the artist, and that's why I use a lot of older music, is that they don't use so much computer, okay? Because I notice today's music, which I'm going to start singing, but my problem with today's music is that I'm competing with a computer, or a program, which does this thing that's not human, okay? So you have to know that it's easier to work with songs if you want to practice your voice and you want to learn. It's easier to practice with songs from, like I said, a lot from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Why I say 60s, 70s, and 80s? You can say earlier, but the 60s, 70s, and 80s, they understood more about the voice and who can sing and who can't sing, okay? So and they did more, the music was more different kinds of music. I guess I can say genres of music. And it was more organized more, things like that, okay? So there is something else I wanted to say about the music. I know that I said, okay, there was something else that I wanted to say about the music. Oh yeah, how to sing. Another thing too, a lot of people come to the channel and they think that I'm supposed to sing perfectly, but I stated I state all the time that this is like a video time lapse, okay? And I'm showing you how it's being perfected, and it's being perfected. As long as I do videos, it means that it's progress and it's going to be perfected. If I stop doing videos altogether and I close the station down, I'm just giving you an example. I mean, that means I came to a peak, but I would definitely tell you about, okay, it's not going to reach perfection, okay? But now, like I'm saying, that's what it is. That's what this whole video, time lapse thing that I'm doing, and it's going to work. Okay, from what I see now, I'm not going to say definite, but it appears to go into the how can I say, into perfection of vocals. And what does it mean to know how to sing? That's another thing I want to capture, is that it means that you control, okay? You control your voice, your vocals, okay? You control them, okay? Some people have total control over their voice, but their how can I say, their range is not as big, which is no big deal, okay? And it's perfection. Like, for instance, I know you're not going to believe me what I say, but some pop artists, even Madonna, okay, she had a perfection in her voice, but it wasn't a big range. But everybody would tell her, and if she just worked with that one range, You know, you don't have to do everything like a Toni Braxton. I mean, her range is solid. It's a certain kind of thing, but look at what she can do, okay? Because she perfected her voice and her range, okay? So, like, by perfecting your range, that means that you go to, you know where to go, you know what you can do in this space, and you learn it to where you know what you're doing, and it sounds perfect. That's what the perfect thing. My thing is that my range is it's kind of large. It can do a lot of things. So the more things that you can do, the more time it takes, the more complicated it is. So like when I'm singing a song, I learned the song, okay? I learned the song, but it's funny because like when you start recording, your mind kind of not generalizes, but puts everything together and say, okay, we're not learning anymore. This is how far we're gone. And this is what we're going to do, okay? That's how the mind is because it's taping. And like I said, I don't, that's another reason why I don't, how can you say? I don't edit, okay? Because you can see what's happening. I want the people to see what's happening and how the perfection is being made. So that's it for the vocals. And that's what I'm saying. What singing is, what knowing how to sing is knowing your range and having a definite technique that doesn't fluctuate. My technique now fluctuates all the time, okay? But I'm going for it to where it doesn't fluctuate. I know exactly what it is. I know exactly if I can do something or if I can't do something. So that's it for the update for the singing, okay?